I heard Big Daddy Kane actually had hands, man. Somebody, I
He
forget
did. Big Daddy Kane was known to beat people up. He was like, he just was hot-tempered. He definitely was known to put his hands on.
You're doing too much. I need the stage. I need the stage, Playboy. That ain't my problem.
When people hear Big Daddy Kane, they don't think of some gangster or wild street fighter, they think of a legend. The man was one of the smoothest to ever hold a mic, a lyrical architect who helped build hip-hop's golden era. But here's the twist behind that cool, laid-back vibe. Kane had a whole other side that could flip in a second. He wasn't one to play with, and everyone in the industry knew it. Just like when folks found out MC Hammer wasn't just a dancer, but someone really about that street life. Kane had his own moments that showed he wasn't just rhymes and style, he had real presence. Insiders whispered about it, and a few even witnessed that fire firsthand. And get this, Mike Tyson himself once told a crazy story about a dude who tried to get slick with Kane. Not even an hour later, that same guy went on live radio talking big, until suddenly, listeners heard chaos break out, sounds of a beatdown happening live on air.
Somebody had said something about Big Daddy Kane, and then like 30 minutes later, he's talking on the radio, and next thing you know, you hear, hey, what's up, bro? Hey, stop! Kane beat on the air.
Tyson said Kane never even had to admit it. The proof was right there for everyone to hear. But that wasn't the only time Kane showed his edge. Fast forward to August 26, 2023, at London's O2 Forum in Kentish Town, a massive hip-hop 50 celebration. Kane was headlining, sharing the stage with icons like Onyx and Masta Ace, soaking in well-earned respect from the crowd. Everything was rolling smooth, until mid-performance, when out of nowhere, a masked rapper stormed the stage, standing front and center like he ran the show. Things were about to get wild. That masked man turned out to be Comanche Sly, a veteran from the UK rap group Hijack. At first, Kane played it cool, letting him do his thing. But after a few moments, the look on Kane's face said it all. He was not feeling it. He stopped the music cold, looked Sly dead in the eye, and said, "You're doing too much, Playboy. I need the stage. You're doing too much." The crowd froze. Kane gave him a light shove, but Sly stood his ground. Then Sly clapped back with something slick, and that's when Kane snapped. He shot back, "That ain't my problem," and the tension exploded. The air got thick, the crowd started buzzing, and before anyone knew it, Kane was peeling off his jacket like he was ready to throw hands right there on stage. His crew jumped in fast, pulling things apart before it turned into a full brawl. It was wild proof that Kane still had that fire burning in him after all these years.
Somebody had said something about Big Daddy Kane, and then like 30 minutes later, he's talking on the radio, and next thing you know, you hear, hey, what's up, bro? Hey, stop! And Kane beat that on the air.
Big Daddy Kane talked about it?
We heard him on the radio.
Mike, when was that?
In the 80s.
In the 80s?
But the drama didn't stop there. The very next day, on August 27th, Hijack went online and let it all out. They took to Facebook and unleashed a full-blown rant, calling out the DJs and promoters for what they said was straight-up favoritism toward the American acts. Their post said, "As per usual, the DJs and promoters of the show licked the Americans and disrespected the UK side of the culture by not letting us perform. You were always unprofessional clowns." They even doubled down, saying, "So we walked on Kane's set, and they didn't like it. You DJs and promoters are the reason UK hip-hop never grew. You never play UK hip-hop. It was chaos online." Their post didn't stop there. They went in even harder, saying DJs only play the last 5 minutes of your radio shows to cover your whack bit. It was raw, emotional, and straight from the heart. But while Hijack came in fiery, Big Daddy Kane handled it smooth and sharp in his follow-up interview.
You're doing too much. I need the stage. I need the stage, Playboy. That ain't my problem. That ain't my problem.
He didn't feed into the chaos. Instead, he flipped the moment into something positive, saying his mission was to build bridges between generations of artists, not tear anyone down. Kane explained, "We had our shot, we did our thing. We're still around, and we have a fan base that supports us for our catalog. So we're not trying to threaten the younger generation, not trying to replace them." He even added that he'd love to sit down with artists like Lil Uzi Vert, Kodak Black, or even Migos, just to talk, connect, and share some real wisdom. "I think that's what's important," he said. when the past generation can talk with the future generation and give them game. That moment reminded everyone that Kane's mindset has always been about unity, not ego. Still, whispers about his street ties have followed him for years, stories connecting him to Brian Glaze Gibbs, one of Brooklyn's most feared kingpins back in the day, a man deep in the underworld of violence and major drug operations. Whether those tales are real or just exaggerated, they've only added to Kane's legend, that perfect mix of smooth confidence and quiet danger. But beneath that tough exterior lies something deeper: loyalty and mentorship.
He used to be rocking the jewelry, rocking the suits, had the hairstyle, had the fade, you know what I mean, had the 3 cuts in his eyes, jewelry, everything. Like I said, his flow was rocking, man.
Even as one of the most respected MCs alive, Kane never stopped lifting others up. One of the best examples? A young, hungry rapper named Jay-Z. Before he became a global icon, Kane took him on tour, gave him that spotlight, and made sure the world saw his talent. That's real legacy energy. Even Ice-T once shared a powerful moment from back in the day that showed just how far Kane's influence truly reached. Ice-T once said, "I actually met Jay-Z with Kane. Kane brought Jay-Z over to my house." That story alone says it all. Kane was out here putting future legends in rooms before the world even knew their names. A lot of people used to think Jay-Z was Kane's hype man, but Kane set the record straight. He explained he wasn't a hype man, he basically made cameo appearances on stage. When I'd leave to change outfits, I'd bring out Jay-Z and Positive K and let them freestyle until I came back. Just picture that: a young Jay-Z, still hungry, spitting bars live on stage during Kane's set. Those weren't just performances, they were masterclasses in greatness. Jay didn't just tag along for the ride either. He was featured on Kane's 1,994-track show Improve off the Daddy's Home album, and even appeared in the music video. Kane had a gift for spotting talent, and he wasn't afraid to share the spotlight. And it didn't stop with Jay-Z. Kane also gave early shine to Tupac Shakur and a then unknown Biggie Smalls, letting them freestyle live during his Madison Square Garden show. That wasn't just generosity, that was hip-hop royalty sharing the throne with the next generation. These moments proved why Kane's legacy cut so deep. He wasn't just respected, he was revered. But before Kane became the icon everybody saluted, he had to grind just like anyone else coming up from the boroughs. Born the 10th of September, 1968, in Brooklyn, New York, he started from humble beginnings. It was back in high school when he linked up with Mr. C, who would later become his DJ and right-hand man through the come-up. By 1984, Kane connected with the one and only Biz Markie, and the two clicked instantly. They became tight friends and creative partners, with Kane even ghostwriting some of Biz's most famous rhymes. Eventually, both joined the legendary Juice Crew, the powerhouse collective out of Queens led by Marley Marl, and from there, Kane's rise was unstoppable. The Juice Crew didn't just make music, they shaped a whole generation of hip-hop history. Then in 1987, Big Daddy Kane leveled up, signing with Cold Chillin' Records, which was run by Tyrone Williams, Marley Marl's manager, and Len Fichtelberg. That same year, he dropped his debut single, and it blew up in the underground scene. His name, Big Daddy Kane, came from two inspirations: Kane, the wandering martial artist played by David Carradine in Kung Fu, and Big Daddy, the smooth-talking character played by Vincent Price in Beach Party. The mix fit perfectly, part philosopher, part player. What made Kane stand out wasn't just his lyrics, it was his speed. He could spit rapid-fire rhymes over fast-paced beats while battling asthma. That's wild dedication. His flow, confidence, and bold fashion sense made him a full-blown trendsetter through the late 80 seconds and early 90 seconds, high-top fades, silk suits, and those flashy four-finger rings. Even his name carried weight: King Asiatic, nobody's equal, and honestly, that title fit him to perfection. When Kane dropped his debut album, Long Live the Kane, in the summer of 1988, it wasn't just another rap record, it was a movement. The project was loaded with bangers that showed off his lyrical precision, smooth tone, and unmatched swagger. Kane had officially arrived, and the hip-hop world took notice fast. Then, just a year later, he came back swinging with what became his biggest project yet. It's a Big Daddy thing. The album mixed slick 70-second style samples with Kane's confident, player-like delivery, giving us timeless joints like Smooth Operator and the Teddy Riley-produced hit, I Get the Job Done, which even cracked the R&B top 40. That project locked in Kane's place as one of the greatest to ever touch a mic, earning respect from elite lyricists like Craig G, Masta Ace, and Cool G Rap. His flow, presence, and stage dominance made him untouchable, but Kane was never just about the flash. Big Daddy Kane wasn't all flash, he had substance too. In 1990, he hit another major milestone, teaming up with Public Enemy for their groundbreaking album, Fear of a Black Planet. He jumped on the explosive track, Burn Hollywood Burn, alongside Chuck D and Ice Cube, dropping bars that went straight for Hollywood's throat, calling out the industry's ugly history of racist, cartoonish portrayals of black people. Kane didn't hold back for a second. He came at the system hard, exposing how it disrespected black culture for decades. One line hit especially deep, and black women, in this profession, as for playing a lawyer, out of the question, for what they play, Aunt Jemima is the perfect term. That verse cut through Hollywood's fake smiles and diversity talk, revealing just how deep the stereotypes ran. And here's the crazy part, his words aged like prophecy. Decades later, in 2020, the company behind the Aunt Jemima brand finally removed the image from its packaging, nearly 30 years after Kane called it out. That's proof Kane wasn't just rapping, he was educating through rhythm. But Kane didn't stop there, he carried that same bold energy into his art too. In 1991, he crossed into R&B territory, teaming up with the legendary Patti LaBelle for her album Burnin'. Together, they created Feels Like Another One, a powerful mix of soul and rap where Kane dropped a slick, razor-sharp verse that matched Patti's fire perfectly. The track was a hit and showed the world Kane couldn't be boxed in, he could shine anywhere, with anyone. That's real versatility. And Kane kept proving it. He even appeared in Patti LaBelle's Live in New York concert video, showing his crossover appeal was no accident. Watching Kane share a stage with a soul icon like LaBelle wasn't just cool, it was legendary. He moved between hip-hop, R&B, and live performance like it was second nature, and the crowd couldn't get enough. His reach didn't stop there. Kane also made waves in film. One of his biggest contributions came with his high-energy track, Enough Respect. For the Juice soundtrack in 1992, the cult classic directed by Ernest Dickerson and starring Omar Epps and Tupac Shakur. That song wasn't just background music, it was the heartbeat of a generation. That track, Enough Respect, was straight-up adrenaline packed with Kane's signature rapid-fire bars and razor-sharp delivery that hit like thunder. The beat dropped, and instantly you knew this wasn't just another song. This was Kane commanding the entire vibe of a generation. It perfectly matched the film's raw, street-driven energy, locking him deeper into hip-hop history. But even before Juice hit theaters, 1991 had already been a monster year for Kane. His lyrical brilliance was finally recognized on one of music's biggest stages when he took home a Grammy Award for Best Rap Performance by a duo or group. That win came from his appearance on Quincy Jones's legendary track, Back on the Block, off the album of the same name, a song that blended hip-hop, soul, and jazz into one bold celebration of black excellence and creativity. On that record, Kane stood shoulder to shoulder with heavyweights from both rap and R&B, proving that his name carried serious respect everywhere he went. As the 90 seconds rolled on, Kane kept pushing boundaries with his sound, always fearless and never afraid to evolve. He started weaving more R&B flavor into his tracks, a bold move that split fans down the middle. Some missed the gritty bars, while others praised his evolution and range. Around that same time, his deep connection with the 5% Nation, a movement centered on black empowerment and self-knowledge, started shining through in his lyrics. It gave his words new depth, turning his verses into lessons. But not everyone got it. Some people celebrated his message, while others didn't quite understand, sparking both praise and backlash across the rap scene. Even with the mixed reactions, albums like Looks Like a Job For proved Kane still had the magic. Critics showed love, and while the numbers didn't reach the same commercial heights as It's a Big Daddy Thing, his respect in the game stayed solid. Kane was never the type to fade away quietly. He stayed on the road, rocking shows, keeping his name alive in the culture no matter how trends shifted. And he wasn't done showing his range. Kane jumped into acting, revealing yet another side of his talent. In 1993, he made his movie debut in The Black Western Posse, directed by Mario Van Peebles, holding his own alongside a powerhouse cast. That same year, he popped up in Robert Townsend's superhero comedy, The Meteor Man, proving he could shine on screen just as bright as he did on stage. But as Kane's fame exploded, so did the drama, and his next chapter would spark headlines like never before. The The 1,990 seconds were wild times for Big Daddy Kane, and he stayed right in the center of the storm, pushing boundaries like few rappers ever dared. Back then, hip-hop stars were still testing how far they could really go, but Kane? He was already breaking the mold wide open. He shocked fans when he posed for Playgirl magazine. And later, he took things even further by appearing in Madonna's provocative coffee table book, Sex, a daring project packed with bold, risque photos of major celebs that had the entire world talking. That move proved one thing: Kane wasn't scared of controversy. He was fearless, confident, and unapologetically himself, never afraid to challenge what people thought a rapper should be. He didn't care about fitting a box, he was the box. Then in 1995, Kane linked up with two heavy hitters, MC Hammer and Tupac Shakur, for the smooth yet powerful track Too Late Playa featuring Danny Boy. The song blended soulful hooks with raw street energy and captured the spirit of that era perfectly. But as the track was buzzing, whispers started flying about something even bigger, rumors that Kane might be joining Death Row East, Suge Knight's bold plan to expand his infamous Death Row Records empire to the East Coast. For a minute, it was all anyone could talk about. Fans were convinced Kane was about to sign on and shake up the industry again. But in the end, that deal never happened. Still, Kane didn't let that slow him down one bit. By 1997, he reunited with Frankie Cutlass and a few of his old Juice Crew partners for The Cypher Part 3, a nostalgic anthem celebrating hip-hop's golden era while proving Kane's pen was still razor sharp. That verse showed he could still body any beat that came his way. And just a year later, in 1998, Kane dropped what would stand as his final solo studio album to date, Veterans Day. The project didn't climb the charts like his earlier classics, and critics were split about it, but the real fans knew the truth. Kane still had it. His flow was crisp, his delivery smooth, and his charisma untouched. Even if the mainstream had shifted to a new wave, Kane's presence reminded everyone that true greatness never fades. Through the 2000s and beyond, Big Daddy Kane never disappeared, not for a second. He stayed active, jumping on tracks, rocking stages across the globe, and showing love to every generation of MCs that came after him. His consistency turned him into a living legend, the kind of name that commanded respect no matter what era or sound was running the charts. In 2000, Kane came in blazing on Tony Touch's iconic mixtape, The Peacemaker, spitting alongside rap giants like Kool G Rap and KRS-One. That track was pure fire, and a reminder that Kane's pen was still razor sharp and his delivery hadn't lost even a breath of power. From there, he switched gears, moving into a more collaborative zone, connecting with artists from both the golden era and the underground movement. He linked with groups like A Tribe Called Quest, the nostalgic Jurassic 5, conscious rap crew Little Brother, and even DJ Babu from the legendary Beat Junkies. That mix of old-school heavyweights and new-school thinkers showed how effortlessly adaptable Kane was, always honoring the roots while embracing the future. Even decades after his debut, Big Daddy Kane kept proving one undeniable fact: real talent never fades. His pen stayed just as sharp, and his voice still carried authority. In the early 2000s, Kane dropped two standout singles that reminded everyone exactly why his name still echoed through hip-hop. The first one, The Man, The Icon, produced by none other than The Alchemist, brought that gritty East Coast flavor back, with Kane gliding over the beat like it was 1,988 all over again. Then came Any Type of Way, produced by the legendary DJ Premier, and that one hit even deeper. Kane got personal, reflective, and raw, painting a powerful picture of post 9/11 New York City. His lyrics cut through the tension of the times, capturing the heavy energy that hung over the streets. One line stood out above all: Giuliani got New York looking like it's Amistad. That bar hit like a punch, referencing both the infamous slave ship Amistad and the oppressive climate under former Mayor Rudy Giuliani. It was poetic, political, and piercing classic Kane storytelling with bite. And just when people thought they'd seen every side of him, in 2003, Kane flipped the script once again, stepping completely outside of hip-hop and catching everyone off guard. Big Daddy Kane proved once again he could move in any lane when he teamed up with British trip-hop group Morcheeba for their smooth, sultry single, What's Your Name? His laid-back flow slid perfectly over their mellow vibe, showing he could adapt to any sound and still keep it 100% authentic. Kane made it clear no matter the genre, he could own the track. By 2005, his legendary status was set in stone when VH1 honored him at their annual Hip Hop Honors Show. The tribute was stacked with some of the biggest names in rap T.I., Common, and Black Thought, each performing Kane's classics as a salute to the man who helped shape their own styles. But the moment that stole the night came when Kane himself hit the stage to perform Warm It Up. Kane, alongside his original dancers, Scoob and Scrap Lover. The crowd exploded. The energy was electric. Kane still had that same fire, swagger, and stage command that made him unstoppable back in his prime. You could feel the respect in the air. It wasn't nostalgia. It was admiration for a king still holding his crown. In 2006, Kane kept the momentum rolling, jumping on Get Wild Off This, a UK-produced banger by the Stanton Warriors from their Stanton Sessions Volume 2 mix. With heavy breakbeats and sharp rhymes, the track showed that even overseas, Kane's name demanded respect. His legend had no borders. That same year, he took part in one of hip-hop's most unforgettable live moments, the 2006 Hot 97 Summer Jam. Kane hit the stage alongside Wu-Tang Clan, Rakim, Q-Tip, and his longtime collaborator Busta Rhymes during Busta's massive tribute to New York hip-hop. The crowd went crazy. Seeing those legends together on one stage was pure history, a moment that reminded everyone why Kane remained a pillar of New York's sound. But even as time moved on, Kane refused to stay still. In 2013, he switched gears again and formed a live band called Last Supper, also known as The Last Supper, teaming up with R&B singer Showtime and the New York collective Lifted Crew. Mixing live instruments with golden era energy, Kane proved once again that evolution wasn't just part of his story, it was his trademark. That same year, Big Daddy Kane and Last Supper dropped their album, Back to the Future. On March 26th, a smooth fusion of live instrumentation, soulful hooks, and Kane's signature bars. It bridged that old-school soul with a modern twist, reminding everyone that Kane didn't just live through eras, he defined them. That album was more than just music, it was a statement, a reminder that real artistry never goes out of style. Then, in June 2020, Big Daddy Kane stepped into the spotlight once again, but this time, it wasn't about nostalgia or fame. It was about purpose. As protest and racial tension erupted across the nation, Kane dropped a powerful single titled Enough, a raw, emotional, and unapologetic response to police brutality and racial injustice. The record hit like a punch to the gut, passionate, heartfelt, and painfully relevant. Through it, Kane reminded everyone that his voice was built for more than just rhyme schemes and wordplay. It was built for truth and revolution. By this point, Kane's status was untouchable. He wasn't just another legend from hip-hop's golden era, he had become a pillar of the culture itself. Critics, fans, and fellow artists all agreed. Kane stood as one of the most technically gifted and influential MCs to ever bless a mic. His precision, storytelling, and that smooth, confident presence made him the blueprint for what a real MC should be. And the receipts back it up. MTV ranked him number 7 on their list of the greatest MCs of all time. In Kool Moe Dee's iconic book, There's a God on the Mic, The True 50 Greatest MCs, Kane landed even higher, number 4. Meanwhile, About.com placed him number 3 on their top 50 MCs of our time list, praising his influence, lyrical agility, and timeless swagger. The respect didn't stop there. In 2012, The Source, often called the Bible of hip-hop, ranked him number 8 on their top 50 lyricists of all time, calling his pen razor-sharp and revolutionary. Across the board, critics agreed Kane wasn't just a rapper, he was an architect of the entire art form. Music historians and journalists echoed the same sentiment. According to AllMusic, Kane's best work stands among the finest hip-hop of its era, showcasing his versatility, charisma, and unmatched staying power. They described his smooth, player-like persona as one that inspired an entire generation of rappers who modeled their style after his effortless confidence and charm. They also praised his rep as a battle MC with nearly peerless technique, a lyrical swordsman capable of dismantling anyone who dared to step in the ring. Kane's mastery of rhythm, timing, and stage control was something special. Even in an era stacked with giants, he still stood out as a performer who could command the mic and the crowd at the same time. Whether it was through his complex rhyme patterns or his magnetic presence on stage, Kane didn't just perform, he owned every moment, reminding the world that legends like him don't fade, they evolve. Big Daddy Kane made sure every single bar hit with precision and power. Critics and fans alike agree his first 2 albums, Long Live the Kane, 1,988, and It's a Big Daddy Thing, 1,989, remain undisputed hip-hop classics. Those projects didn't just shape the sound of rap, they redefined how it looked, moved, and felt. Kane didn't just make hits, he set the standard. Those early albums didn't just make Kane a star, they defined an entire era. From rapid-fire street rhymes to smooth love jams and party anthems that had crowds jumping, Kane's range was unreal. He could flip from slick wordplay to soulful charm in an instant, and fans loved every side of him. Even Rolling Stone gave him his flowers, praising how Kane's music has earned consistent respect decade after decade. They called him a rare kind of artist, someone whose catalog not only built the foundation of hip-hop's golden years, but continues to stand tall against time itself. Writers and historians echoed the same truth. Kane wasn't just an artist, he was a movement. In The Ultimate Guide to Hip-Hop and R&B, authors Cameron and Devin Lazar described Kane as one of the best lyricists of his time, noting how even younger rappers still name-drop him today. That kind of legacy doesn't fade, it echoes through generations. Music journalist Peter Shapiro took it even further, calling Kane perhaps the most complete MC ever, a title that says it all. And he wasn't just talking about rhymes, he meant everything. The charisma, the confidence, the presence, the innovation. Kane could step on any stage, light up a crowd with just one verse, and make it look effortless every single time. And his influence didn't stop in the 80 seconds or 90 seconds, it runs deep in modern hip-hop too. Even Eminem, one of the most technically skilled rappers to ever touch a mic, gave Kane his flowers on Yellow Brick Road from his Encore album, directly shouting him out by name. That line alone proves just how far Kane's impact stretches from the golden age all the way to the top of the charts decades later. Everywhere you look in the culture, from hip-hop historians to industry legends to today's chart toppers, Big Daddy Kane is celebrated not just as a pioneer, but as a perennial giant who still commands respect. His music, his style, his confidence, they left a permanent fingerprint on the game. So, tell me what you think. Does Big Daddy Kane still deserve to be called the most complete MC ever? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive, and I'll catch you in the next video.